guys, I'm back. I'm back. Hey, Cleve, and welcome to another Tea Time with Laura, which airs every Friday at 7 p.m. Please, I wish you would like, follow, and subscribe when you get a chance, okay? And share it out to others. We're going to have an exciting night with big topics to talk about, and we have a special guest in the house, community activist herself. Delores Gray is with us. She's going to be telling us about her background and the things she's into, and we're going to talk a little bit about Black History Month. So let's go. Let's do it. Welcome, Delores.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm very excited and pleased to be here.
Me too. I'm telling you, it's about time, girlfriend.
Yes, it is. Yes, it
you got
is.
your tea. You got your teacup,
I have
and
my
we are going to be
teacup.
doing the tea. Cheers to you, sis. Please.
Cheers.
So tell everybody about you, Dolores. Who is Dolores Gray?
My name is Delores Gray.
Yeah.
And, I'm actually a community activist and I'm an entrepreneur. I would call myself in regards to my organization I have. And I'm really out there in the community doing a lot of different things, fighting justice and marching and just in the trenches. And I never thought that I would be doing this, but when you get that purpose in you from Almighty, you just have to keep going at it until you get things done.
That's what I said. Activism, everybody thinks they can be an activist. But activism is really a call. It's a calling. It really
Hmm.
is. And you
Yes,
got to feel it, and here, it's a calling. You just can't just wake up one day, I think I'm going to be an activist. It just doesn't work that
exactly.
way.
Exactly. That's so true because I know for myself, I just, a lot of these things be heavy on my mind and in my heart. And, I just feel compelled to do certain things. And I just said, I know this is, I just said to myself, I know this is a calling because Al Porter would let you know that he and we've had debates on whether I was an advocate or an activist. And I was like, I am not an activist. He said, yes, you are, Dolores. But, I basically, it's just like you said, you have to have that passion. And, once it's in you, it's in you.
There. And you got it in you too, sis. I tell you,
Yeah.
you're a brave soldier.
Well, thank you.
And you have,
Man, it's been something. It's
yeah,
been
you
something. I
have
mean,
been.
I came from a background of, education as well as finance. And, I've always worked when it was the educational piece. I was a literacy developer, basically with Project Learn. And then this other organization called Minority Youth Helpers, which was right on Superior. And I started out as a tutor, basically. And so it's just kind of morphed into programming, and coming up with ideas to help children. So that's kind of how I got my start of that was really the start of activism, which I didn't really even know that I was doing. I just wanted to make sure that young people were able to read and pass their tests and things of that sort. And then fast forward to 215, I actually started getting involved with the Rape Crisis Center because I won. I won this beauty pageant, and I said, well, you know, I've had a lot of that in my life, not for myself, but for family members such as my daughter, Brandy, as well as other family members. So I got involved with the Rape Crisis Center. And that's when that passion started. It morphed into something totally bigger than me and what I had to do actually as a beauty title holder. So it just started from there. And then I just kept going. And then for me, being a fitness instructor, I use that platform to talk to women.
Mm-hmm.
And so that also gave me the idea that I can utilize this to help women to love themselves, no matter what they went through or going through, to love themselves and to have self-care. And
Mm-hmm.
now it's all about the women that are dying that we're trying to save, the domestic
Yeah.
violence piece. I mean, it just has, when you think about the whole thing,
Yeah.
It's deep.
Yeah. It really is too. And it's never ending. I think we'll be doing this till
Right,
the day we close our eyes, you know?
right.
Yes. How do you feel about Black History Month?
Well, first of all, Black history is every single day
Very much. I was waiting on
to
that one.
me. But I
Yeah.
do know with it being in place, I understand the reasonings for that and how history, the history of our country here with us. Um, I really, I love to know the Black facts, and I read up on those things all the time. And it's a lot of Black history here in Cleveland that we don't even, that we don't really know about, and that we don't really follow. And, for one, Carl Stokes, the very first Black mayor of any major city. Now, people need to understand that's right here in Cleveland. And on top of that, he's the one who started off the flag raising that they have every year in February. And on top of that, he is the very first mayor, Black mayor, to start working on police reform. And that was
Mhm.
back in the 60s and 70s.
Thank
He was
you.
the first person
Right.
that called that out. And, then we have some other powerhouses that a lot of us don't really recognize like we should, like Fannie Lewis. And
Hmm.
I live in her ward, and I remember her as a child and how she
Yes.
helped my mom with the gardens. I mean, she was all about community, all about community. George, Mr. Forbes, all these powerhouse people. And so, it's a lot of rich history here in Cleveland, and, especially like with the Huff riots. I can sit and
Oh,
listen to my dad talk
my
about that for
yes,
hours.
girl. Yes.
I said,
Mhm.
wow. And
Yeah.
this is amazing. I know if I lived and if I was the age I am now, I probably would have ran. I probably would have been down there trying to put my hair up, fighting in it too. So,
I
but
know
I
you
do
mentioned that
love
though.
history. I really love
Yeah.
Black history, and the people that fought for our rights. And one of my favorites is Malcolm X,
Hmm.
because he said a lot of things that were so true about our community and how we need to, um, you know, dive into our own community and build it up. And one of the things that he stated was how Black women are the most disrespected group ever, and he's never lied. And right now we're dealing with a lot of different things going on. And our mayor, Bibb, which I really love the fact that he is very much involved with us. He wants to work with us, and there was some literature that came out, some information. It's called Project Noor, and it found out that Cleveland had the worst conditions for Black women in all
Right.
areas.
That's
So that's
right.
something that yeah, so that's serious. So that's another reason why my heart is like dedicated to what I do in regards with us. And because you've been out there too, so you understand. And so it's serious. But Black
Absolutely.
history is my thing.
Yeah, for real. I know. I've lived part of that Huff riots when I was a little girl, so I
Wow.
remember smelling the smoke. I remember hearing the people scream in the background in the streets. Because we lived right off of 79th, and that's where it occurred.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. Because we're both East High
Right.
bombers. Yeah.
So,
Because I grew up and still over in this area, on East 84th, right off of, it was Linwood. I lived on the end of the Linwood that when you go down, it's Huff. So I
right.
was right there where the
Yeah. Yeah.
Neon Clinic is
Right.
located. That's where my father said that's where the whole battle was taking place, right there and down towards 79th.
Exactly.
I
And I
said,
was on
wow.
Blondie right off of 79th and Addison. So, yeah, we could hear it all. I remember my mother going down in the basement, just to say, take cover. We didn't know what was going to happen. It was like 2 or 3 days of that in a row. They were sending out
Yeah.
guards. But when we
Yeah,
were
my
going
dad was
to school,
telling me.
we were actually going to school with the Black Nationals and the Panthers. They was walking up and down the street like
Wow.
everyday brothers, giving you the salute, and they were so cool too.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure they tell the kids go to school, don't be hanging out here on the street. That was our
Mm-hmm.
that was our protection. I
Right.
miss those days. We felt safer in those days than you do now.
Yes, yes. And we need to get back to that part, not the violence, but that part of them, you know, being out there with us. I mean, that's why I was like, I told somebody, I said, when they would say, what era would you want to be in as an adult woman? I said, probably the 60s, because I'm kind of militant. So don't let the red lipstick fool you, you know? That's why I love, our people. And I'm just dedicated to, trying to make things to help, we all,
Well,
we all have a voice.
and for Black History Month, I mean, you had an event yourself last week. I know we had it over at you had it over at Black on Black Crime Incorporated. So you want to tell the people what was that about and why did you hold it there?
Well, first off, I just, I wanted to stand in solidarity with Tyre Nichols' family, his mother, and, just everyone in Memphis, Tennessee that, experienced the loss of this young man by the hands of the police officers. And, I became compelled because I watched the video and something had told me, because I said I didn't want to watch another video like we watched George Floyd, and we actually seen a modern day lynching. And so that, I said, I don't want to watch it. But then, I said, I was just compelled to. And when I watched it, I was so physically upset. I thought about my two boys, the 9-year-old and the 13-year-old, and I thought about people and their children that have already gone through this, like Tamir Rice with Samara Rice, and so many others. And I just started thinking about all of this, and I was just kind of up all night. And I said, I'm just compelled to do this. I want to make a stand. I want to get mothers out to, so we have to just band together. And so I woke up that morning and I said, I don't want to do it outside. This is too cold for everybody.
Oh, right.
I called Al Porter and I said, look, this is what's on my mind. I called him early in the morning. I said, this is what's on my mind. He's like, okay. He said, we can make that happen. And so he talked to Mr. McCoy and he said, okay. And that's what got the ball rolling. I put that out. But my message was really for us to band together, all of us, because this is bigger. We have to all make a stand in like basically every city that's going through this, and and come up with an initiative to stop this type of violence, and also to make sure that police reform includes psychiatric training or for them to find out, because if you watch that video, you literally saw all this hate and anger.
Yeah.
And it was a Black man doing this to another Black man. Yeah. So I say, they always talk about Black on Black crime. This was the ultimate.
Right.
To see police officers do this.
Yeah.
And it was just sad to me. And I think about the supremacist situation we are in with the racial divide and the problems with the police, and they kind of all go hand in hand. But it's like when you see Black men doing this to another Black man.
Yeah.
It's totally, the whole thing is just deplorable. I mean, even if it was white officers, it doesn't matter. But just to see our own melanated brothers doing this.
It felt for a minute there, the way they pulled them out, and I heard them so badly, like it was more personal. I was like, what is going on?
It seemed like they really
on him why he was being arrested. He kept yelling over and over, I didn't do anything.
No, it seems like it was personal. I've heard some conspiracy theories already about it. The main one that was doing all the work on him
Mm-hmm.
The conspiracy theorist was basically saying that Mr. Nichols was dating this man's ex. So we don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I don't,
Yeah.
but I know that's one of the conspiracies that are out there. But it's
Mm-hmm.
just a sad situation. So that's why I was compelled to do it, because it was so important that in my heart, I wanted to let that woman know that I'm here.
That's
And I
right.
wanted her to see all of us, all the mothers that's been going through, have went through anything dealing with the trauma. But that's
Yeah,
trauma.
that's
And
trauma. Hearing that boy yell out for his mama,
yes,
that was so painful, And then
yes, it was.
I heard Art McCoy yell it out in the meeting, and it was like when Donna Brown yelled it out, like,
Yeah.
even when you're in a grocery store, and you ever notice that, and one of the kids might say, "Hey, Ma," and everybody would turn around.
Yes, everybody turn around. Exactly.
We mothers, we react to that. That's our
Right.
child, you know. I'm glad you did it too, and we need to do more of it. As a matter of fact, it shouldn't even stop. We should every other week or so still continue to raise,
Yes.
and say his name and others
Exactly.
that fall, behind police brutality or any other
Exactly.
crime. So yeah,
Exactly.
don't stop. And I'm with you
Oh, I
100.
don't plan. I don't plan to. A matter of fact, they're having some type of rally March the 22nd about moms and gun violence. And I'm going to be sharing that with everyone online if they want to take, part in that, because I'm going to be up in there too. I mean, it's just, legislation it need to be, people writing legislation about this, our leaders. We need to have community forums about this, because it's not going away. And I think about, and it's like I look at both sides. Okay, I look at the side as as the mother and the family members, and I also look on the sides of the police officers' family as well. And they're going to be going through a whole bunch of changes.
Yeah, they change
And these
their lives.
police officers, yes, and these police officers need more training, and they need to step up some guidelines of how they recruit them. There's need to be ongoing psychological testing, like every 2 weeks, or even, it's just needs that in every police station around America.
Remember, all of that was put into the dissent decree,
Correct.
but I don't think it's been done.
Yes.
I think we need to hold a meeting with the mayor. I think all our groups should get together and hold a meeting with the mayor. And
well, that's what I'm planning. That's what I'm planning. I've already reached out.
Right.
And I've already reached out. And matter of fact, when we were at the flag raising, I make sure I talk to his assistant again. So I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop.
See? So guys, what's your take on this? I know you've heard about the story and devastation right there. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to our channel, and leave comments, and you will be answered. And since you did mention the flag raising, that kind of segment goes right into the flag raising event that was on Saturday. How do you feel about that? I think it was a very wonderful event. It's been going on since how many years now? Oh my God.
Since Carl B. Stokes was the mayor. And that was back 67, maybe I think in the 70s or 80s. Then it started in the 80s or something like that. That's a long time.
My
That's
God.
a long time. And it should never stop.
Right.
Well, my take on it, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fascinating because my boys get to see the history. And I just love the fact that the flag is raised up at City Hall. That's where, because Cleveland is a black city, so.
Yeah. I like the drummers. That was always.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome.
I
was up there dancing. I don't know if you've seen me.
Oh yeah, I saw you, and I even saw Al. Not Al. Art was up there on the stage.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I thought it was really awesome. I love to hear the young men singing.
Mm-hmm.
Now that was really nice, and that, I think more, youth to be involved. I think schools should bring their students down to that
Right.
flag raising
Right. You're right about that. That place really should be packed. Should be
with
packed
young people. Yes,
for young people. Exactly. We had to raise up our next future little activists out there. They're out,
yes,
you know, and they watching everything we do. So we have to show them the right way so they can come up behind us, because eventually
yes,
we are going to have to pass that baton.
yes,
And so why not start recruiting now? Like you said, we'll start with the school age and show them the
yeah,
right way. What activism is
hmm,
really all about. Okay, not
exactly.
that not that craziness that's out there in the street. We ain't gonna talk
Wait a
about
minute.
that, are we?
The thing-
Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe, people. So we getting the tea tonight.
I'm telling you, we'd have had our fair share.
That's right.
I'm like more the newbie, and I'm getting it.
That's right. Because we run across
I am
all
getting it.
types of personalities, and
Yes.
that's our makeup, and it's a good thing. But it can be
Hmm.
a hindrance too, in some way. We have to. I
Hmm.
was told learn how to deal with difficult people. Whew, so well needed, and I'm so glad that you're participating in the documentary B, Array's
Oh
Fist Mix
yeah.
One.
Yes.
Yes, thank you very much for that. Activism is strong and it's deep, and we want to dedicate it to Silver B, who was the biggest
Yeah.
activist. And speaking of Carl B. Stokes, he was always with his brother. Congress.
Yes.
Yeah,
Hmm.
definitely
Wow.
pushing the votes
Yeah.
and.
Silver B was. I was sad when he passed away because he kind of actually helped me in him as well, like my mentor, Miss Dot. Doris Dot Davis. Um, yeah, yeah. So, through her, I met so many different people, and when I won the beauty pageant, and we were in the Labor Day parade. No, it was in Glenville, and he see me. He said, "Oh, you got to come on my show," and and when I got on his show, he told me to bring. He said, "Bring that crown, Queen."
Mhm.
And from that point, that's how I got on Voice and Radio.
Yeah, that's
It was
right.
through Silver.
Me too. I mean,
Hmm.
it was because of Silver B. And
Yes.
so I think we all owe him that. I think Larry too. Larry,
Yes.
he pushed that
Hmm.
forward for us.
Hmm.
Sure it is. So I kudos to you, Silver. This is a
Yes.
for
You
you.
are our favorite right here.
That's
You're my
right.
heart. That's my heart.
Yeah, yeah. That's okay. We're gonna keep his legacy alive through the doc
Yes.
and just keep going. We can't.
Hmm.
We all fall down, but we got to get back up. And just
Yes.
keep it
And
moving.
keep going.
Keep it.
Exactly. And I know that's what I'm going to do. I just have to keep moving and bring as many people along with me as I can.
Before we close out at all, I just wanted to say to you, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the work that you do.
Thank you. You were
And
very instrumental with me too.
yeah,
I watched you from afar, and then I never forget when I said I gotta talk to Laura Cowan, and then I think I contacted you or something, and I saw you at some, and I was so happy to finally meet you because you have did some great work as well dealing with women and domestic violence. So with everything that you've gone through.
definitely, definitely. So we're going to close out, but I want you to give some last encouraging words to our audience out there tonight with Tea Time with Miss Laura.
Well, I want people to just stay motivated and to if you have a passion and there's something out there you want to do, just do it. And because God gives us all a purpose, and once your purpose come to life, you have to grow. And I just say, stay peace, stay, loving to everyone, and just treat people with kindness, and just do just do it. That's my encouraging word, is to stay motivated.
Well, kudos to you, sis. Raise my cup.
Thank you.
Click, click. Have a sip.
I love this tea time. It's good.
Right. Thank you so much for being a guest on the show. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you as well. I really do. I've admired you for a long time, and I'm just so happy to be working with you and supporting what you do as well.
And vice versa. Same here.
Yes, thank you.
I hope you like, follow, and subscribe, people. This has been a wonderful show, and we keeping it real, keeping it 100, right here with Tea Time with Laura. Until next, we meet every Friday. Kudos to you too. Okay. Thank you, Delores.
You're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate it.